Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Gladys on Love, your go to space for all things relationship, intimacy, and connection. Today's video, we will explore various types of relationship. Yes, you heard it right. There are actually different types of relationship. And it took me a while to realize it that, oh, there are actually different ways of being in a relationship with someone. And I have a list here of relationship types, and I'm curious which of this relationship type you feel you're most suited about. So let's start with the most common type, which is monogamy. So this is what many of us are familiar with. Monogamy means being in a committed relationship with one person exclusively. So I think a lot of us, we thought that the only way to have a relationship is through monogamy, just being focused, being in love with one person. And a lot of people, when they fall in love, they think they're not able to fall in love with other people. And if they feel something towards others, even though they're already in a relationship, they tend to feel bad about it. If you do so, maybe you have to stick around and see if there are other types of relationship that suits for you. But if you're someone who is actually happy and contented by just giving your full love and energy towards one person, then I think monogamy might be the one for you. Next up is friends with benefits, also known as FWB. This is when two people maintain a friendship but also have a casual sexual relationship with each other. So this means there's no romantic attachment or expectation of commitment. And really the key here is communication and boundaries. I think some of us might have gone through this kind of relationship. Like, you have someone that you're very close with, and there's also a romantic tension between the two of you. But perhaps you don't see each other being in a relationship because you're not compatible. Your lifestyle are so different. And in that case, there's nothing wrong with that if you have that shared chemistry and sexual connection between the two of you. I don't think it needs to be condemned or it needs to be labeled as bad. Again, as long as there's consent, you know the boundaries between each other and you know what the expectations are, and it is clear, then maybe this is something that would work for you. And I think the tricky part here is sometimes one person gets emotionally attached to the other. So it's very tricky. Feelings are very tricky when it gets involved. So I think the most important part here is to really be clear and honest with each other when that situation comes up. Now let's talk about open relationships. This is when a couple agrees to open a relationship to include other romantic or sexual partners, but they still maintain their primary relationship. And this can take many forms, from having casual encounters outside the relationship to forming a deeper connection with others. So, the foundation of an open relationship is really about trust and clear communication. Open relationship requires a lot of honesty and emotional maturity because it involves multiple connection while still maintaining your bond with your primary partner. A lot of people, their question is, aren't you going to be jealous if your partner is meeting other people? Or maybe that's just an excuse to cheat with each other. These problems also exist in monogamous relationship, but I think the beauty of the open relationship is really having that open communication. If you can talk about your fantasy and desire with each other, I don't think it's considered cheating because you're being honest and trustworthy with each other. But again, you can still cheat in an open relationship if you meet and slept with other people and not telling your partner with that. So really the key is being able to communicate what you desire, what you want, and who you want to to go and have fun with. And consent is very important as well in an open relationship, making sure that your partner is okay with that. And in an open relationship, your partner can also say no. Again, consent is just about saying yes or no and having the other person respect that. That's really a foundation for open relationship that really builds trust that, oh, I can trust you to express how I truly feel, and I can trust that you will tell me how you really feel about it, if this is really aligned with you or if this is something that's no. And I created a video about consent before. Like if your partner says yes, that yes can turn into no. And you have to respect that. But a no can never be turned into a yes. If you want to learn more about setting consent and boundaries, feel free to check out that video that I created. Fourth on the list, similar but different from open relationship, is polyamory. In polyamory, people have romantic or emotional relationship with multiple partners at the same time, with everyone's knowledge and consent. It's not just about sexual connections, but also about love and emotional bond with more than one person. I think for people who engage in polyamory, they are people who feel like they can love multiple people and they don't want to limit their capacity for connection. I personally think this is interesting, but I don't think I can handle it because I feel like being in a relationship right now, it takes a lot of time and energy. And to be able to handle or nurture this level of intimacy with someone, it takes a lot. So for those people who are engaged in polyamory, kudos to you. And I'm curious, how do people make it work? And hopefully I can interview people in various types of relationship to really get to know how they make it work. How is the setup? But anyway, that's what polyamory means, is that being in a relationship with multiple people. What about you guys so far? Which relationship type are you most interested in or are you currently in right now? And we're not done yet. Let's go down to our fifth on the list. Let's take a look at polygamy and polyandry, which are often mistaken for polyamory, but they are actually different. Polygamy is when one person, typically a man, married to multiple partners, often multiple wives. And this is actually specific practice in some parts of the world, especially in certain religious or traditional communities. It's often rooted in long-standing tradition and requires consent from all parties involved. And I think here in the Philippines, Muslim culture, they engage in polyandry where a man can have multiple wives. And I've seen a documentary about this. When I come across topic of various relationship, I did research about polygamy. And I was surprised that it actually exists here in the Philippines. And again, mostly in like a Muslim culture, they do this. On the flip side, there's polyandry, which is less common but still practiced in some culture. This is when a woman is married to multiple husbands. Both polygamy and polyandry are form of marriage, which sets them apart from other types of non-monogamous relationship, where there may not be formal marriage or commitment. Wow. It's actually very interesting that again, there's different types of relationship that exist out there. I remember when I come across this topic, I did a research about polygamy, and mostly it's common in like a religious practices where polygamy is existing. In polyandry, I come across one video. I'm not sure which one video in YouTube because I was curious, like, oh, if a man can do this, I wonder if there's also a woman with multiple partner. And it actually exists. At first, I didn't want to believe it. I thought it was just stage. But now I came to this place where, like, yeah, that could be true. One woman with seven partners. And this woman even gave birth to a child, and all the seven guys are there, wanting and willing to be a father. But funny enough, you can really tell who's the father because there's only one gingerhead guy in that video, and the kid has a ginger hair. So we can all know who's the father, but all of them are willing to be the father for that kid. So it's pretty interesting. I wonder what's your thought on polygamy and polyandry? Wow, we've gone to open relationship, polyamory, polygamy, polyandry, those are heavy things. Those are very uncommon. I think probably here in the Philippines, very uncommon and perhaps unheard of. Anyway, there's also what we called casual dating, where you date multiple people without expectation of commitment. This is often great for people who are still figuring out what they want in partner or aren't ready for a serious relationship yet. It's all about exploration and enjoying time with different people without the pressure of labels or long-term expectation. I think a lot of people are getting involved now in casual dating. Like, if you're in a dating app, most people, I think, even though they're saying that, oh, they're for serious relationship, but really you can't meet someone in a dating app and just expect that they're going to be the one. I think a casual dating approach would probably be a good idea. And again, the best part of this is just about exploring what you want and what really suits for you. And then there's long distance relationship where you and your partner live different places or sometimes far apart, like living in a different country. But with today's technology, it's easier than ever to maintain a long distance relationship, but it does require a lot of effort, trust, and communication. And it can be challenging as well. But many people make it work beautifully. I created a live stream in my channel about how to sustain a long distance relationship because I was once in a long distance relationship too. And sometimes me and Eli travel separately, just like right now. Eli is in Moalboal and I'm here in Dumaguete. And what we try to do to make sure that we keep our relationship alive and we keep connected is really communication as well, constant communication. And it's really making an effort of communicating with each other. Last but not the least is relationship anarchy. This one is less common. And I think I've only heard one person mention this to me, and I really find it quite interesting. So, in relationship anarchy, people reject the traditional idea of relationship being defined by rules of hierarchy. The idea is that love and connection shouldn't be confined to predefined categories, and people are free to form their own structure and relationships without societal expectation. It's about living authentically and building your connections in a way that feels right to you and the people in your life. So that means if you're in a relationship anarchy, you don't necessarily believe that a man should be working and a woman should stay at home. It can be flipped, or you can only be in a monogamous relationship, or you can be in an open relationship. This is more free flow. Both of you can come into the relationship and create your own set of rules and boundaries and set consent. This is like a playground for all possibility. As you can see, there are so many different types of relationship out there. And the beauty is there is no right way to love and connect. The key is to find what works best for you and your partner or partners. It's all about communication, respect, and making sure that everyone's needs are being met. Whether you're monogamous, polyamorous, in friends with benefits situation, or exploring something entirely new, the most important thing is that your relationship feels authentic. and fulfilling to you. I hope that this video has opened up your mind to diverse possibility of love and connection. And if you have any question or want to share your thoughts, drop them in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode of Gladys on Love. Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and keep loving authentically. Bye.